An 18-year-old refugee walked away from a war with nothing in her hands. Most physicians I speak with walk away from clinic with something less visible, but just as heavy. Confusion about collections. Denied claims they never expected. Revenue they delivered, but cannot fully see. And the quiet feeling that they are working harder than the system is willing to acknowledge. That contrast has been sitting with me, because the refugee story is not really about geography. It is about what happens when a person is inside a system they cannot control, cannot see, and cannot fix alone. At some point, someone outside that system chooses to step in and restore clarity where there was only survival. Healthcare has its own version of this, but we rarely say it out loud. Many physicians are not struggling because they are bad at business. They are struggling because they were never given true visibility into the business they are responsible for. Here is the contrarian part. Medical billing is not primarily a complexity problem. It is a transparency problem that we learn to tolerate. For years, the solution offered to physicians has been the same. Outsource it. Delegate it. Add another layer between you and your own financial reality. If something feels off, ask someone else. If numbers do not make sense, wait for the next report. If cash flow drops, assume it is normal variation. But think about what that really means. We are asking physicians to run clinically precise environments while financially operating in partial blindness. No surgeon would accept that in an operating room. Yet in the business of medicine, it has become normal to not fully see what is happening in your own revenue cycle until weeks or months later. And the cost is not just financial. It is cognitive load. It is after-hours exhaustion. It is the slow erosion of confidence in whether the system is working at all. What gets labeled as physician burnout is often not burnout in the traditional sense. It is friction accumulation. Small inefficiencies repeating every day until they become a second workload no one formally assigned. 5 minutes spent on eligibility checks that should not fail. 10 minutes chasing a claim that should not be denied. 15 minutes trying to understand a report that should have been clear. Multiply that by hundreds of patients, and suddenly the system is not just inefficient. It is extractive. Here is what I find most uncomfortable. We have trained physicians to accept opacity as normal. We have normalized waiting as a workflow. We have normalized uncertainty as a business model. And we have called it healthcare administration. The truth is simpler. If you cannot see your system clearly, you cannot improve it deliberately. And if you cannot improve it deliberately, you will eventually start outsourcing responsibility for outcomes you still own. This is where many independent practices quietly lose ground, not in one dramatic failure, but in small, invisible leakages of time, attention, and revenue that compound over years. So the real question is not whether billing should be outsourced or internal. The real question is whether physicians can see their own system in real time with enough clarity to make decisions confidently. Because ownership without visibility is not ownership. It is dependence with responsibility attached. The refugee story ends with someone stepping in to restore access, opportunity, and forward motion. Healthcare does not need rescue, but does need clarity. And maybe the most important shift ahead is not more tools, more vendors, or more dashboards. It is simply this: physicians finally being able to see what they already earned, what they already did, and what the system has been too slow to show them. I will leave you with a question. What is one part of your practice where you feel you are making decisions without full visibility? Share it in the comments. And if this resonates, pass it on to another physician who is still trying to practice medicine while also decoding a system they were never trained to interpret.